Charles.
Hello, Charles.
So we know that every day that goes by, what is it, half a million people are dying. Are you keeping count? And do you know like how long the whole story is going to go, and therefore how many people are biting it by the end?
Well,
on the ship and off the ship?
We're waiting for the last ship. The last guy on the ship.
We do a lot of what's interesting with the show for us is thought experiments about what you do during a pandemic or a tragedy. How do human beings behave? And there are pessimistic views and there are optimistic views. We're trying to find all those and realistic views. There's a book that we read, I recommended everyone read last year, called Scatter, Adapt, and Remember. I'm not pitching the book because I don't work for that guy. I forgot who wrote, but it's a good book. It talks about, what happens when this stuff happens. It's better to scatter, get far from each other, you don't hurt each other, but adapt. But also remember what you had before, That's the title. But we think about these things, about what happens to the world, and then we think about, well, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be a society? Because, look, the first thing that the settlers did when they came to the New World, they built a church and a jail. And that kept order. That kept people in line. There was a higher authority, and then there was the sheriff. And when those bonds break, civil bonds break, what is our general nature? Some would say, oh, well, it's every man for himself. Some would say it brings out the best in us. And we've seen that in the world. We've seen the helping hand during a hurricane or a flood or a riot. And we've seen the looters. We've seen the good and the bad. And I think that's the truth, is there's good and bad. These guys are on a race to sort of at least halt the worst part of it, which is the continuing death. But also they have a whole other mission, which is a line we used last week. If humanity's going to be saved, shouldn't it be worth saving? So what is the new world going to look like? And so we're doing a lot of asking of questions, and we're not always having the answers, because I don't think the answers are easy, and I think it's better for the audience to engage with us and find their own answers. But as much as we're an action-adventure show, we're also trying to think of the big questions and pose them so that we can all consider them. And plus there's action.
Right.
Yeah.
Some guns and stuff.
Yeah.
What's it like working on the ship?
Well, first of all, being on the ship as an actor removes 80% of the things you would normally worry about, because I did a lot of theater. So when you're on, everything is false in the theater. So your imaginative energy goes towards things outside of you more than you might like it to. But when you're on an actual destroyer, all of your imagination is, and you have on an actual uniform, it's like all those things are gone. It's like, that's real, so I can completely concentrate on what I'm doing internally, and it makes it so much easier in a sense, and so much, especially in TV, because you don't get a chance to really work on a scene the way one would necessarily like to. So with all those extraneous things removed, you can really kind of make the best of your takes. So I love it. And the crew itself is amazing, because I tell the story all the time, but I would ask people what they were supposed to be doing if they weren't helping us, because they were our extras, they taught us, they were teaching us things, they were fully engaged in helping us, and all they would say is, our job right now is to help you.
You are our mission.
You are our mission right now. And that, more than anything, and all these things add up to the same thing, but that, more than anything, just made me admire them so much, because I was never like a military hawk, or I don't have family members in the military, but just meeting these men and women has turned me into it. I shout Navy to everybody who listens. All my young nieces and nephews don't know where to go. Hey, go to Navy. Try the Navy. So they really had an effect on me.
Two quick stories that I know we don't have a lot of time. One is shooting on a base down the street. A bunch of Teamsters and union guys and actors and crew and everything. And every morning at 6:30 or 7, the whole base comes to a stop, the flag goes up, everyone stands at attention. If you're a military guy, you're saluting. National anthem, flag goes up. And all our guys, get that light pit, stop, boom. And then at sunset. They blow the whistle 3 times. No matter what you're doing, you could be filming a scene, you stop,
Driving in a van.
everyone
Van
stops,
get
looks at
out.
the flag, salute. You couldn't help but feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself and patriotic. Second story, I get always choked up when I say it, so I'll try not to cry, but we're on the Dewey, the ship USS Dewey, where we shot the principal series. The Halsey's where we shot the pilot, but Dewey's where we did the series. And we're in the mess decks, which is the cafeteria. We're filming a scene, and all the monitors, TV monitors, are set for Nathan James. We're controlling them, but they're TVs. So in between takes, one of the officers turns the channel because it's Final Four basketball. Wants to watch TNT basketball. Turns it on. A commercial comes on for the last ship, and the Dewey, the ship we're filming on, races across the screen. And the crew of the ship and the crew of the show together, like, cheered. Because we were seeing our work and also their ship, and it was like we were all shipmates in that moment. Like, I literally cried, thinking about it, because it was like this great, bond that we formed. Because we're not here to like sell the Navy, rah rah. And I told them upright, we're not doing a commercial for the Navy. But if we do our job right, it'll be the best commercial you ever had, because you guys are effing heroes, and you guys are dedicating your life to serving others. And we see it during tragedies like hurricanes and typhoons. We see it when we need to, get the guys who killed people in Benghazi. Navy ship is right there. They are our ambassadors to the world, and they're also our protectors. And we just felt a lot of pride, and they kind of cross-pollinated. They felt proud to be part of what we were doing, and we felt proud of what they were doing. So,
was it a big process to kind of join forces with the Navy, to get them?
It was a long relationship we had to nurture, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they were a little skeptical of us at first because we're Hollywood types, and they thought, oh, you guys are gonna do all this stupid stuff, make us look bad, and we said, as I said, I'm not going to do a commercial for you, but this is a show about heroes and about real people in heroic situations, and we believe in this show, and they started to trust us the more they started seeing scripts coming in, and then we also had them as advisors the whole time, so we didn't want to get it wrong. We didn't want to say, oh, we'll just do that because it's cool. We had a dramatic license we were taking. We also said, hey, Captain, how would you do this? Hey, Master Chief, real Master Chief, how would Charles really do this? It became a question pretty soon. We were like, how do you talk? How do you walk? I mean, everything's got its own way. So we wanted to get it right. So they respected that. And now we got a call from the Department of Defense that this is the most popular show among those people. And they couldn't be happier. So that makes us feel good. And it shows that the show is being authentic in a crazy sci-fi kind of world. These guys are authentic. I think that's what you want, right? Science fiction isn't about things that can happen. It's about things that could happen and human beings really reacting to them. And so we're a sci-fi show, but we're about real people.
Well, congratulations on your success.
Thanks, guys.